My name is Margaret. I grew up in Medford, went to Medford High School, class of 98. I moved away for about 10 years. When I came back, I lived on Inman Street in Cambridge, and then a year later, I hopped up into Somerville. And I think this is year 5 for me in Union. So yeah, it's been a lot of change. Somerville used to be a little more like working class. Parts of it certainly still are, and that's one of the things I have always liked about it. Area 4 Cambridge and East Somerville especially, just how diverse it is, both economically and ethnically. Like, it's always made it a fun place to meet people and eat, also one of my favorite pastimes. Some things are nice, of course, about gentrification. Like, Union is so much more fun now than it ever used to be. Assembly, much less stabby also than it used to be. I'm a big fan. Yeah, it's nice. I think Somerville's done a pretty good job of trying to remain conscious of all of its kind of diverse segments of population as it kind of matures, and that's been nice to see. You know, people call it the Brooklyn of Boston, but I don't think it is. We're not quite going down that road yet, hipsters notwithstanding. So yeah, it's a fun place to be. I am certainly happy my husband and I own our condo, which I feel really fortunate about, but I also feel really fortunate that we bought like 5 years ago, when you could still kind of, as a mere mortal, afford to do that sort of thing on working incomes, which you really cannot anymore anywhere near Union or Inman or Davis or Teal or Magoon. So most places in Somerville. I think it's inevitable. It's going to get even more upper class type establishments. I mean, I love it. I benefit from it. I love eating out. I love having nice wine shops. I love having great food places. I love farmers markets. It's nice. Like, I enjoy benefiting from that type of business. But it makes me a little bit sad too, like the places that have closed in Union over the last couple of years, which could never be here again, like the discount furniture shop. It's like, there are people who need discount furniture. Like, it would have been nice if they could have stayed in business and not been kicked out by rent. So yeah, I think it'll probably continue. It'll go I hope it doesn't quite go the Harvard Square route, but it's gonna just keep going this direction for a while yet, I'm sure. Well, Bergamot, which is at the corner of like Kirkland and Beacon, so technically Somerville, but also on the Cambridge side, that's been like my favorite splurge place ever since they opened, and they just keep doing great. And they just opened a new place. I think this one technically is in Cambridge, Bisque, a little ways down. And their service is amazing. Their food is always really thoughtful. I don't think a lot of people know about this, but there's a little Italian place on Bow Street next to the donut place, which everyone does know, called Capone's, and they're amazing. He does handmade mozzarella every day. Incredible pastas. It's irritatingly only open till 6 during the week, which has made it for most of my working life very difficult to go there, but it's fabulous. Yeah. What else? I don't know. Somerville's great. Like, I do prefer Union at this point to Davis or Magoon. I just feel like there's more going on. I like the type of restaurant that's here now generally. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of good stuff. If you've never had beer and pretzels at Bronwyn sitting in the beer garden in warm months, you're missing out. You should do that. It's solid. Lots of good things. Bow yoga, wonderful. I don't know. I would say the diversity of it, not really just racial, although Somerville used to be the most densely populated city, I think, in the country, and it still is the most densely populated city on the Northeast. Although it sounds crazy thinking about New York just in terms of the amount of residential properties versus commercial, the square footage we have, it's pretty intense. And historically, Somerville has been like all over the map socioeconomically, and I love that. Like, I grew up going to Medford High, which also was like that, and just in the course of your daily life, the more people from the more walks of life you meet, I feel like the healthier your view on the world is, and it's just, I don't know, it's nice not to just be surrounded by people exactly like you all the time. So I hope that stays the case for a long time to come. It probably won't. I'm looking around, we're at a farmer's market. It's a self-selecting crowd, but I think everything Somerville can do to keep that it should be. And to some extent, I think they're trying. They've had a couple of good mayors, and I know that that's been a priority. So, yeah, good urban planning. Yeah, if as much as possible, I would love to keep it a diverse place to be. My name is Margaret. Come share your story with SCATV.